Hi guys, it's Kath from Simple Reflect and Early Years Programming Mastermind, and I'm on a mission to help early childhood educators shine. Now, as you come on, say hi. It's day 2 of my challenge, and my challenge was for launching, sharing, resharing one of my freebies each day of the Queen's birthday long weekend. And so I'm not just sharing my free resources, I'm actually live streaming each day as well. So I thought I'll hop on and tell you a little bit about which one I decided to reshare today, and a little bit about why too. It's been a really long day, and I'm actually almost ready for bed, but I thought, no, I'll hop on and do this before we go much further with family bedtime routines and whatnot. But we spent yesterday and today out at Dubbo. So we went out to a family's, a beautiful friend of mine's daughter was having 21st. And so it's a great opportunity. I just love it out there. It's open, the red soil, it's heading out back, and I really, really love it. But it gives us time. It gave me a little bit of time for downtime as well, and connecting with people that I haven't connected with for a while. And so the free resource that I have decided to relaunch today is the Shine as an Educator mini ebook. And I know there's some educators that have been through that, and that's been really, really valuable for them. So if you are an educator that have been through the mini ebook challenge, Shine as an Educator, then share it with other educators that you think would benefit from also going through that. And I'll tell you a little bit about why I decided to share that. Sitting around the fire, as we do, and connecting with people that I haven't connected with for a while. And we got onto the discussion of schooling and how our children are doing at school, and talking about all the different options for school, about the different types of schools, homeschooling, and just the options that we'd all taken for our children over the years. And then we sort of went on to the discussion of childcare and what sort of childcare the different women that I was chatting with have chosen over the years, and why. And we really started to talk about why we had chosen what childcare we had chosen for our children, and whether we thought it was diverse enough, whether we thought it was individual enough. And the feeling, I suppose, from the women that I was chatting with was that a lot of childcare seems to be very one size fits all. But then once I started chatting about, the difference of family daycare, the difference of occasional care, the difference of finding childcare for children with mixed age groups, opposed to being segregated into their ages, which a lot of centres do. Once we started talking about how many options there really are, a lot of these ladies didn't realise of the options and the benefits to our precious children. And I think hindsight is very interesting, but as educators, we have a really important role to educate parents about the choices that they do have for their children. And if they are looking for different choices for their children, then really sharing what our form of childcare and how we're sharing with children and parents, how our form of childcare could benefit for their child, but giving them enough information so that they can go away and they can really form a decision and they can really choose what type of childcare will benefit their child. Trying not to make our children a one size fits all. It just didn't sit well with me, the fact that these beautiful women that I spent time with really didn't know their options. They really didn't know the really diverse options that our children do have in a childcare setting now. And I was, I don't know, a little bit taken aback, I suppose. But the reason I've shared the Shine as an Educator mini ebook is because it's on reflective practice. It's on reflecting on us as educators, but also how we connect with our precious children, how we connect with them, how we offer them valuable care when they are so young and they need connection and they need educators to advocate for them and their choices and really share the choices that they do have with the parents so that the parents can make the choices that they need to make for their children. So I suppose I did come away from this weekend feeling like I really want to encourage educators to share with parents the advantages of all the different types of childcare so that they can make choices. It's about choices. It really is. So I've had a really nice 2 days, and I hope you guys have as well. I know everywhere hasn't got a public holiday, and it feels a bit weird, you know, parts of the country having a public holiday and parts don't. But this is my challenge. This was my 3-day challenge that I was given, and I really wanted to make it meaningful as well, to sort of throw out a challenge to you each day, I suppose. So, you know, if Monday didn't connect with you, then Tuesday might be if the first day didn't connect with you, then the second day might be something that really you can dig your teeth into and actually find a worthy challenge that's really going to connect with you. So that's really all I had to say today. I think it's really important to know the choices. And as educators, we do know the choices for our children. We know them a lot better than parents. And if we don't share that with them, who's going to share it with them? I see it as a responsibility, but I also see it as something really valuable that we can offer to parents, and that is the information that we know. Share it with parents for the benefit of the children, and don't just assume that whatever form of childcare we are currently passionate about, don't just assume that that is going to be the best option for a child. A parent is the best person to make that choice, and if they're going to make that choice, they're going to need to have all the information, and that is something that we can really share with them, is the information on how our settings, our individual settings, are different, so that parents can make a choice, and not be biased about what we share with parents. Be passionate and share what we love about our setting, but share it in a way that parents can make choices, and real choices, and not shove that down their throats, but in a way that's respectful and in a way that they can really make a choice. So that's all I have for you today. If you haven't done the Shine as an Educator free challenge, reflective practice challenge, then hop onto that. I've just shared it, and I do love it. I do it myself, so that's why I share it. It's been really valuable for educators that we have done it with. So grab that and let me know. Do you share with parents about your care setting passionately in a way that they can make an informed choice about whether your care setting is right for them or not? I would really like to hear about those conversations that you're having with parents. Definitely something that I will be thinking more about. Definitely something I'll be sharing more with educators about. But I'd also love to know how you share and whether you share your care setting passionately, but also in a way that parents can make informed choices for their children. So I will be back tomorrow, being the public holiday Monday, with my 3rd day challenge, and I hope that you'll hop on. Have you got any questions, guys? I love answering questions. You know I do. It feels really funny being on a Sunday night and not having work tomorrow. And I just sort of thought I'd pop on and share a few things. I've sort of shared what I plan to share. So if you've got questions, I'd love to answer any questions. Now would be the time to answer them, to ask them. So I can't actually see any questions, but that doesn't mean there isn't any questions, because my phone often doesn't share them. Let me just have a quick squiz on the computer and check that they are not coming up. I'd love to know what you're doing for your public holiday long weekend. Whether you're doing family things or whether you've got a project that you've planned to do. We often set ourselves a project for the three-day weekend, but as I said, this weekend we went out to Dubbo to a family function, to a beautiful friend of mine's 21st, and it felt a bit special to go out. It was really, really nice. So no, guys, I can't see any questions. So if you have questions for me, add them below. Say hi as you come on. No, I love to see who is here with me, and often I can't see unless you say hi. So that would be a great thing that you could do. I am going to go and do Locke's bedtime routine. So remember to shine, guys, and have a fabulous weekend. And I will... Oh, I've got Tracy. Hi, Tracy. How are you? Oh, that came up on the phone and not the computer. How bizarre. Facebook is very inconsistent when it comes to what I can see and what I can't. And it's often not until it's downloaded and it's shared, and I realised that I had people saying hello. So hi Tracy, how are you? How is your long weekend? Have you got a long weekend? Are you New South Wales? Oh, you're good. I'm glad you're good. It's really nice. You'll have to go back to the start if you've only just come on. I was talking about discussion that I had around the fire actually last night with some parents. And can I chat a little bit about programming? I certainly can. I love to chat about my programming. I actually think for my tomorrow's free resource, I was going to reshare the programming masterclass, the where to start, but I can give you a little head start if you like, and I'll add it into the comments at the end of this. So with our programming, it's all about what the children need to learn. So I really want us to get to a point where we can move past just offering children what they're interested in. I really want us to, as educators, knuckle down on developmentally where each of the children are at in our care, and really treat the children as individuals and really focus on them as individuals, and really program for them as individuals. So if you are struggling time-wise with your program, it's a really great to step back and look at one planned experience that you can do with the children that really focuses in on where their learning is at right now, right at the moment. The second thing I want you to do each day is a follow-up. And that is a meaningful follow-up from the day before or the week before, or something that you really focused on with the children and had a valuable thing that could continue and follow up. And then the third thing I want you to focus on each day is a spontaneous moment that you can really connect with a child with. So if you are doing each of those three things each day, you will have a program that really rolls along and that is really valuable for the children in your care. So is that along the lines of what you meant by programming? I think sometimes I can assume that people ask something and then it's not. So Tracy, if that helps a little bit. So I really think sometimes we can assume what children's interests are rather than really taking a step back and going, okay, as an educator, I know that this child needs this next. This is where their learning needs to go. They need to learn this skill next. And yes, offer it through experiences that the children will love, that they will be interested in, but make sure the learning is the focus first. And that way we really can come back and we can really say, okay, our programming is valuable. Our programming isn't just wishy-washy. It isn't just focusing on interests or on where a child may have gone. It's actually coming back and it's looking at what children need to learn as they go along. Does that help, Tracy? I really do. I really have, for myself, found that this really, really works. It really helps to roll a program along, cycle a program along in a valuable way rather than just assuming. So Tracy says we are using Quick Kids where we write in which is hard to see the growth of learning. Okay, I don't know. Is Quick Kids a program? I think that's a pre-program, isn't it? Which we write in, which is hard to see the growth of the learning. That's a hard one because you actually want to see where the children are at with their learning. That's the reason why we program, is to make sure that we are actually focusing on growing our children, supporting our children, supporting their growth and supporting their learning, and make sure that we really focus on, Tracy, yes, I love mind mapping. So do I. I really do. When I want to do it, do my programming with pen and paper, I mind map. I really do. As you can see, the learning flow, yes, and it feels good. If you look back over the pages, you can see how a child has changed or how they've developed or how they've grown through the experiences that we've offered them, the connections that they've made, either with us or with the other children in their care. Maybe you need to do a bit of both so that you can see the learning. I use Simple Reflect mainly because it's really easy to pop in the planned experience and then the observation and send that off to the parents. So make sure that you're connecting with the parents on what you're doing with their child. How is that child really growing, and how is what we are sharing with them and what we're offering them, how is that really helping them? But share with parents things they don't know. Don't just continually share with parents, things that we think we should share with them. Actually look at what the child's doing, look at what the child's learning, and look at different experiences that the child has had through the day, and share that with the parent. Share with the parent things that they won't necessarily know about their child. And that way you form that interest. You are giving them things that they're interested in. Tracy writes, but our centre uses the quick quiz only. I don't like it at all. Absolutely. So that's sometimes that's one of the hard discussions that need to have. Can you really discuss with them about, yes, maybe doing quick kids, but also something else on paper that you like doing. I think sometimes we get, and I've had this discussion quite a few times lately, about educators that fall behind all the time and can't keep up, even in a centre where they are having their programming time, they're having time for their observations, and they still can't keep up. And it's not a matter of giving more time, it's a matter of changing what's being done so that the way we are programming feels right, and that we are giving value to the children, that we are giving value to the families, and they rely on us. They want to know what their child is learning about. They want to know in an interesting way. If we are boring the crappers out of them, they aren't going to be interested, even though they want to know. And I truly believe that. I truly believe that most parents want to know what their children are doing each day, what they're learning with, and who they're connecting with. Tracy says, I do my OBS and program at home due to little time at work. Yeah, okay. So that just tells me that the way you're being asked to program and the way you're being asked to do your observations doesn't connect well with you. Because I think if you feel like you really want to do your programming and you really want to do your observations, and you can really feel the value in passing on what you are seeing and sharing what you are seeing with the other educators as well as the families, and as well as in the benefit of the children that we're caring for, you will want to do it in a way that you get it down and you get it done in work time. So you really need to take a step back and work out why it's not working for you. How would it be able to work for you? How would you be able to take a step back and actually get it done in work time? And whether that is sitting on the floor and doing it, with the children while they're doing an experience, or whether it's doing snippet notes, or whether it is communicating better with the different girls in your centre. Actually take a step back and work out why isn't it working for you, because I think once you start taking work home, that's just, to me, super clear that it's not working. And I would say that you would know that it's not working. And communication. Start with communicating with the other girls on what you're feeling and how it's not working, and how could you make it work with them. They're quite easy to say, sometimes really hard to do. Yeah. Tracy says, yes, definitely not. Absolutely. I don't know, take it on as a challenge. How can I improve this? What steps do I need to take? do some self-reflecting, really reflective practice, and maybe every day write down 3 things that worked for that day, 3 things that didn't. At the end of the week, really look at what's working and what's not working for you to start with, and then maybe encourage the other girls to do the same practice over a week or a fortnight, and then sit down and collate all of your things. What is actually working for the majority of the girls in your room, but what isn't working for the majority of the girls in your room, and really collate your reflective practice as well and use that to move forward. I think sometimes when we're working with lots of different girls, it can be really hard to form a plan of how to move forward and how to get back to a place where things are working. So Tracy writes, when we worked on paper, it was great and I loved it. And I did a lot of floor books. I love floor books. I love floor books with my schoolies. That's where I use floor books. And Tracy writes, but now the centre only want it on Quick Kids online programming. Yeah, okay. And online programming, it really does work for some educators very, very well. So if they are asking you to only do it that way, maybe buddying up with an educator that it does work for. So, encourage, maybe talk to an educator that in your centre that you haven't connected with yet, that might really like it, and maybe some of that enthusiasm will help you, and maybe they will give you some tips and tricks to make that or help that program work for you. So maybe a buddy might work. Even if you're a really experienced educator, if we lose motivation or we fall out of loving what we do, a buddy, can really help with that enthusiasm and help with just maybe picking up some of the online skills that might be needed. I think that that could be an idea. Is that something that is there someone that you haven't connected with before that you could connect with and really talk to about? I think sometimes when we look at online programs, we get a little bit unsure of what we're doing because it is new, and definitely there are adults that would rather write with a pen and paper. There are adults that would rather be online. When I send letters, I write them via email. I don't even think about picking up a pen. But when I need motivation, I often will spend weeks doing mind mapping and writing it out because I enjoy writing as well. So Tracy writes, no girls at my centre like the online program. Okay, so maybe some problem solving on how you can approach management to maybe change your program into one that more of the girls like. That might be an option. Don't know. I do. My mum. Yeah. If most of them don't like it, it might be worth approaching management about it. I think that's sort of all I have that I can off the top of my head. I'm sorry, that doesn't sound like much help, does it? But I think, I don't know what to offer. I'm sorry, except for the fact that if most of the girls really don't like it, then it's time to chat to management about what else. That's okay, thanks. Tracy writes, that's okay, thank you. Yeah, look, sometimes we get a bit stuck. I would suggest talking to the other girls and trying to find someone that actually likes doing it, that and buddying up with them. That would be, if you don't have the option to move on to a different program. And if you don't have the option to change back to paper, maybe writing your snippets yourself on paper and transferring it into the program might be an option, because you want to stay motivated with documenting. It is actually really, really important. It's really valuable. So you do want to work out a way where you can keep your motivation up, where you can lift your motivation back up. And if that's writing snippets and then transferring it into the program, that might be an option as well. I've really enjoyed this chat. Thank you so much. It's really, really nice to chat, and I don't know, it's problem solving, but it's also a reflective practice on what we do ourselves. So I do enjoy that. I'm going to go and do Locke's bedtime routine, but thank you so much for the chat, and I will be back tomorrow with the third part of my challenge. But remember to shine. Bye, guys.